Should I start? Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm Professor Aysha Iqbal Vishamohan, your instructor for the course uh, Film Appreciation. So I hope you're enjoying it so far and you're also learning some things. I also hope that you are submitting your assignments on time. So one query that we are getting very frequently, and I will, in various forms, I'm getting the query. The question is that what would be the exam pattern and when is the exam going to be held? So first I will talk about when is the exam going to be held. So for that, because of the current situation and uncertainty, I'm not too sure what is the exact date of exam. And I'm very sure that IIT is going to, and NPTEL office especially is going to keep everyone informed about the date of exam. So you please be patient about it because none of us are with great confidence, we cannot say that when is it going to take place, when is the exam going to be held. So that we don't know as of now the exact date. And second is when the exam does take place, what would be the pattern? So the pattern is going to be exactly like the way you have been doing your assignments. So you are doing your assignments for very limited number of marks, 10 marks and so each assignment. Here you will have to attempt 100 marks question paper. It will be MCQ only and it won't be an essay type and it won't be very subjective, but absolutely depend, it will come from whatever we have been teaching in class and so on. So I don't think anything, we are going to test you with anything that is not a part of this course. So you please remember that. And no great essays or detailed essays will be asked, but there will be uh, MCQ and objective types of questions. So you have to do well. And it will be lengthy because we have to keep you engaged for at least 2 hours, at least 2 hours. So, although it could be lengthy, I think it is a three hour question, 3 hour exam. So you will be tested in an appropriate manner, but it will be all MCQs and but it will be lengthy. Uh, Karthik, Karthik, hello, Deepak, 1 minute. Karthik, I need to attend to a call. I'll just take 2 minutes. Yeah. Okay, hello Karthik. Hello Karthik. Yes, yes. So I'm starting now. Hi students, sorry for the interruption. I got a call from my office, so I had to take that call. Sorry about that. I will start with Khushi is asking, genuinely want to be an actor. Okay, Khushi. Um, really wouldn't know how to guide you for this. It's a profession, it's a career, full time like any other career, and I'm sure it's a very good career. So I think you have, like everything else, you have to prepare yourself, meet the right kind of people. So who are the right kind of people? Perhaps let's say theater. So you can do some some theater workshops. You can attend some seminars and workshops on filmmaking, film studies. There is a place called Film Institute of Pune, Film and Television Institute of India, that is in Pune. And people go there to learn acting and directing and writing screenplays. So I think that's a very good start to for everyone. And now not just that, like in any other profession, you need to meet the right people, right? So here also FTII will give you the right kind of backing, and it's a government institute. So it's also a very nice and safe place. The campus is beautiful. They teach you in a very structured professional way, and you meet the right kind of people also. So mm, uh, uh, you need that kind of exposure. You need those kind of people who know what you're doing, and you have to watch the right kind of movies. So I think that is the best way. So I'm responding to all three queries: how to be an actor, and what are the steps to write a short film. All these things are very structured. They will be taught. You will be trained at a film school. Best film school according to me is FTII Pune, although there are other schools also. What are the steps to write a great character, especially with a character arc? Okay, there are all kinds of characters, but the best characters are those characters that progress, that evolve over a period of 2.5 hours. You saw every movie 2 hours or 2.5 hours. So character has to evolve. Unless and until you are writing a character like Mr. Bean, I'm sure you know, the character never changes. He's the same in every movie he does, and every character he in every episode. But that's what makes him Mr. Bean. So you have to think who your audiences are. Okay, and likewise you develop an arc. But the best one of the best ways of learning how to, it's not a film studies book, but it is about knowing about a character's arc. So, A Hero with Thousand Faces. And Joseph Campbell wrote this book, and he writes about so that what should be the trajectory of a hero. So you can understand, you can stretch the definition a bit, and it will tell you what is a good arc for a hero. Okay, or heroine also for that matter. We don't distinguish on the basis of gender anymore. Okay, Geeta is asking to prepare for your exam. Video lectures are enough? Yes, they are enough. They are actually enough. Do we need to read up the books recommended? Yes, do that. It also helps, and you have taken a course, you will get a certificate. It's a very good and thing, and perhaps some questions could be indirect also, although everything is based on the lectures. And some of them I mean, all these questions are MCQ types, objective types, right? So you don't have to particularly read any book, although I have mentioned many books in the lecture. And last time also, when we met on 1st October, I mentioned certain, recommended some books. However, that was my response to the students' queries on what books they should read. But I'm not saying that if you don't read these books, you won't pass the exam. So please keep submitting the assignments, keep watching the videos, and final exam question paper would also be on the same lines, along the same lines as the assignment. Okay. Saurabh, there was a time when Shammi Kapoor, etc., came to the movies. What did people like about him? Wait a minute. Like about whom? When Shammi Kapoor, whose movies? Manoj Kumar Devanand? Whose movies you're talking? I mean, you're saying him. Him means who? You're talking about Manoj Kumar or Shammi Kapoor or Devanand? And the second question is Rishi and Rajesh Khanna used to have tremendous lyrics. Of course, they had tremendous lyrics. Anand Bakshi was writing for their Anand Bakshi साहब उनके लिए गीत लिखते थे most of the time. और मेरे विचार में आनंद बख्शी जो फिल्मी गीत होते हैं वो उनमें बेस्ट थे. स्पेशली राजेश खन्ना के लिए उन्होंने जो गीत लिखे इवन फॉर ऋषि कपूर आई थिंक कर्ज का म्यूजिक बहुत ही बेहतरीन था. और ऑल्सो सरगम देखो अगर आप, लक्ष्मीकांत प्यारेलाल और ऋषि कपूर, बॉबी का भी. तो ये सारे इनके गीत जो लिखे थे वो लिखने वाले वो थे आनंद बख्शी साहब. तो उनकी तो कोई बराबरी कर ही नहीं सकता. कहाँ से लाओगे दोबारा आप आनंद बख्शी साहब को? So I'm just corresponding to the way I understand your earlier question कि शम्मी कपूर, मनोज कुमार, देवानंद साहब को लोग क्यों देखना चाहते थे? They like their style. See, we have to understand कि शम्मी कपूर and देवानंद especially, they had great sense of style. बात करने का अंदाज, कपड़े पहनने का अंदाज. So एक जमाने में जो भी कपड़े पहनते थे ये लोग, वो नेक्स्ट थोड़े दिनों में कॉलेज बॉयज वही पहन के कॉलेज जाते थे. Okay, and that's the way people would wear their hair and wear their clothes and try to talk like them. And remember, their music was also very popular. Devanand and Shammi Kapoor had both of them have had some of the greatest songs ever. I'm sure most of you would agree. तो उनके गाने बहुत अच्छे. तो दिस वाज a combination of several factors. एक तो वो उस टाइम में यंग लोग यूथ इन्हें बहुत पसंद करते थे. इनकी फिल्में लाइट हार्टेड होती थी. लाइट हार्टेड मीन्स दे वर नॉट अबाउट चेंजिंग द सोशल सिस्टम एटसेट्रा, but they were more about great song, beautiful heroines, good locations, fashion and all those. So these actors actually benefited a lot from a combination of all these factors. Okay, इन्होंने अपनी अच्छी टीम बना ली थी. एक तरह के डायरेक्टर्स के साथ काम करते थे ये लोग. Okay, also remember that when particularly Mr. Devanand, when he started directing his own movies, especially after Hare Rama Hare Krishna and Des Pardes, so फिर वो बात नहीं रही थी. So directors जो थे इनके वो भी they played a huge role. They had a huge contribution in creating their stardom. I hope I have answered you. Saurabh is asking, no, this is Arup. What will be the course content in film appreciation? Are you already doing that, right? We are already doing, so I don't understand the course content in film appreciation course. We are already doing that. So you think about, Arup, you asked me the same question in different way because I will go on to Ravi now. Has there been a film made based on theatre of the absurd? Yeah, see, theatre Waiting for Godot and all that. Strictly speaking, तो कोई mainstream film नहीं हो सकती. There cannot be a mainstream film which is like theatre of the absurd. But in art house cinema, we have had farcical and also absurd is kind of. But if strictly speaking, that you are, but then there have been lots of experimental kind of films, short films. So that has been done. But many of our very good actors, for example, Nasiruddin Shah, who is very active in theater also, on theater also. He has acted in a number of plays, but I think in India particularly, theater of the absurd would do better, and it is commercially more viable in theater. Okay. In the West, you can make a theater of the absurd kind of film. In India, because you have to, it has to reach masses, so it may be difficult. Okay, what is Rajendra saying? I want to know the filmmaking style of Akira Kurosawa. Yes, there are lots of YouTube videos, very good ones on Akira Kurosawa. I would suggest you watch them. And there is a lot of talk about his visual design, how he would, design the visuals of his scenes, and the way he would use the camera. So I think all these great Japanese directors, okay, they were, for example, not just Kurosawa but also Ozu. So they are known, remembered as much as for their themes as for their camera angles and camera positioning and camera placements, etc. So I think visual style is important. Then there is another question. Semiotics and index. Yeah, yeah. See, index is a part of semiotics. Okay, icon, symbol, index, they all come under the broader umbrella of semiotics. What is semiotics? It's a sign. Okay, for example, you position your camera in certain way and focus on certain objects. Okay, and then you're suggesting through that visual medium, you're suggesting something. Okay, so that is what, yeah, and semiotics are extremely important. So therefore, when you're talking about sets, positioning of sets, what is there on the walls of the room, the kinds of clothes the character is wearing. Okay, so all these things come, they combine to tell you the semiotics. So what is the sign? Yeah, and also the language, the makeup. So all these things matter. There's so much discussion about noir. Noir is black and neo is new. So there is no, there's not a difference between. But there's something called, they are very different things. Neo noir is a different kind of cinema. It is more of a style, less of a movement. So neo noir actually goes beyond. For example, we call Reservoir Dogs neo noir, although it doesn't have a femme fatale like we used to have in old film noir. Okay, so therefore, neo noir means having new. It is still a dark movie. It still has dark undertones, but it some of the features, stylistic devices may be different from the classic noir. So the dogs may not have femme fatale, but it's still a noir. Taxi driver may not have a typical femme fatale, but it's still a new noir. So that's the difference. What was your question? Neo-Western, what is the difference? And yeah, in our cinema, we don't have Neo-Western or Western otherwise. So we have nothing like Western. It doesn't exist in Indian cinema, and Western is a landscape. Okay, the Wild West. So therefore, we cannot even. But if you want to say, Gangs of Wasepur is like an Indian Western movie, where everybody is on a shooting spree, quirky characters, etc. So you can call it, but strictly speaking, we don't have westerns. And noir we have, and there are movies like Manorama, 6 Feet Under, and we have Andhadhun. Sri Ram Raghavan is a master of noir. So Shri Ram Raghavan, Ek Hasina Thi, so Andhadhun and Johnny Gaddar, these are very good examples of uh, film noir in our cinema. Okay. And ma'am, how do you look at OTT content? Some of it which is very good, some of which is very good. Okay, I don't want to comment and say everything is bad and everything is. See, it depends on, and it gives you a choice, right? You don't like it, so we can't say that because it's not according to my personal taste. So I don't like. You don't like it, good. You don't watch it, but there is a lot on OTT, which is excellent, and they're trying new kind of cinema. Yeah, yeah. Especially, I'm not just talking about India, but I'm talking about world cinema. You have so much of choices. You have access to a wide range of cinemas. I think that's very good. People who like movies, who are movie buffs, and who want to read and write about or understand cinema, you have a lot of content. Shashidhar is asking Super Deluxe. Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, Super Deluxe. I will watch it. I will watch it. I was very busy. I will watch it, Shashidhar. I promise. So right now I won't be able to comment until and I say I don't want to sit and bluff and say yes, yes, it's very good. Let me watch it. And honestly speaking, I was busy with my teaching. We are doing online courses. I have two courses. I have research scholars. I'm also heavily into writing and NPTEL work and all this other administrative work. I sometimes watch films, but then I watch films that I have been meaning to watch for a very long time. I will definitely watch Super Deluxe. Uh, then Arun is asking, a wish in the future there will be a session on OTT. Yes, 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 there will be, but not for this. Uh, Shashidhar is asking me, can you tell me your five favorite films of all time? The Godfather and The Godfather Part 1 and Part 2. I think it's excellent. Why? Because, again, it is like any great movie, it is a combination of several important factors. Great cinematography, a lot of attention to details, good dialogues. Some of the stuff you remember even today, I'll make him an offer that he can't refuse, right? And performances. I mean, you look at El Pacino and Brando and other characters also. I mean, performance wise, it is like a textbook. Okay, I won't be able to say five movies because it's very reductionist way of looking at cinema. That five are the best, but I can tell you that I recommend these five films if you haven't watched them already. Because see, because the next question I would be asked that why didn't you name this or name Satyajit Ray or named Kurosawa. So all these are very important filmmakers. They have made excellent cinema. Even Sholay, by it's in Hindi and Nayakan in Tamil and all that. And also, I know a lot of fantastic work is being done in Malayalam cinema. But if you are asking me in a very reductionist way, five films, then I would say please watch The Godfather. It's like a textbook. Uh, Something by Hitchcock. So, which movie by Hitchcock? I wouldn't personally. I'm not a big fan of Psycho, but I would suggest that uh, you say Vertigo is a very good one. Vertigo. Okay, so Vertigo is very good. It has all we the science and semiotics and indexing is done very well in Vertigo. I would suggest you watch Vertigo. Vertigo is excellent. Citizen Kane, Orson Welles' movie, it was a big, big cinematic success. and particularly because it was made in 1940, when, remember, cinema was still not in such advanced or developed stage, and very few like technological support or something. So by those standards, it is a brilliant movie. I think Orson Welles was a genius. And in India, I would say Guru Dutt was on par. Guru Dutt, whatever you may watch, when Guru Dutt was in top form, he directed some very good movies. And remember, they were all not. Unfortunately, he has become associated with depression and tragedies. But Guru Dutt is not all about depression and tragedy. He did make excellent films, such as some of his early movies like Jal and all. They are very good examples of early noir, and that too in India, in Hindi cinema, which was a rarity. So he was a visionary. People often call him the Orson Welles of India. Okay, so I think those are the movies that I heavily recommend. And I also like Heat a lot. Heat is a 94 or 5 movie. 95, I think. It was released in 95. And again, a combination of great direction. Michael Mann directed, Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. Acting is great. Cinematography, Michael Mann is an expert, is a genius when it comes to composition. Okay, so I would suggest watch Heat. But then see, it is also case of your personal likes and dislikes. Many would say that why not Charlie Chaplin? So yes, he also made excellent films, a lot of comedies. Yeah, but in a very satirical way, which is very good way of like pointing towards the foibles and the weaknesses, the social weakness, problems and all that. And he would do it in a very funny, witty way. So I think that was very good. Yeah, so yeah, I know there are lots and lots of films. Yeah, I mean, I would also see one of my all-time favorite movies. It's a very small movie. It doesn't have any big stars and all. 400 Blows by Truffaut. It's a French movie. So I would suggest, but the kind of commentary it makes on the human condition, especially a small child, a teenager almost, and he's growing up in Paris in the late 50s and so, and it is autobiographical. And the kind of social commentary that film makes, and also Truffaut's use of, is very self-reflexive. In many ways, you can see that it is like Truffaut's commentary on making of films itself. So all those things combined together, it's very academic. Truffaut and Godard, they were all very, very cerebral, very academic kind of filmmakers. So yeah, so that way. But again, I would again say sorry, not just 5 movies. There have to be at least 100 movies. When you want me to give my list of top favorite films, so cannot be 5. At least I need 100 movies. But just like that, I could think of those. I'm new to this. I'm new to this. And what course are you talking about? I have only watched your videos. I'm new to this. What course? We are talking about film appreciation. Then Jinky is asking Gramsci's concept of hegemony. Wow. Mass supporting the dominant ideology is aligned with what Professor Romila Thapar has proposed in majoritarianism. I think so. And I don't want to comment on political issues today. It is in today's live session. But yes, I'm sure. I haven't read the book though. Um, Then Vijay Lakshmi saying Indian film industry and music. There's a lot of stuff. I think in the course, if you watch the course, yes. So in the course, I do talk about Indian film industry. I filled the exam form and made payment. Money is credited to your account, not my account, but NPTEL. But I got an email saying a payment failed. Karthik, are you there? Karthik? Karthik, look at this question, number 16, I think, Ujjwal. He, right. Yeah, yeah. Now, Dr. Ronu Ravi, again you are saying the same, asking the same question. Theater of the Absurd, and not exactly to my knowledge, like Waiting for Godot. I'm sure there must have been some movie like Waiting for Godot, but very, very one of those movies which get a very limited attention and limited release. So, not a very well-known movie or something that has caught the attention. But as I just mentioned, in theater, yes, lot of work has been done. No question about that. Indian theater is very rich, and they don't have to worry about getting the profits and getting the money back and all that, which filmmakers have to worry about. So filmmakers won't touch a very experimental style of making films, but theater practitioners can. Okay, because they have the liberty, and they don't have that same kind of economic constraints. So yes. Okay. I get a yeah. Okay. ओके, थैंक यू। आपने अपना नाम, हाँ, विकास है। अच्छा, थैंक यू विकास। और एग्जाम दिसंबर में होगी। अब विकास, अभी आपको वेट करना होगा कि एनपीटेल पोस्ट करेंगे कि एग्जाम कब होगा। उसके हिसाब से हम बात करेंगे, और हम अभी एक बार और मिलेंगे दिसंबर फर्स्ट वीक में। तब तक थोड़ी क्लैरिटी हो जाएगी, थिंग्स विल बी क्लियर। तो स्थिति एक बार साफ हो जाए कि हम क्या एग्जाम कौन सी डेट वगैरह को है, फिर बात करेंगे इस विषय में। तो असाइनमेंट वही के वही नहीं आएंगे, बट एग्जाम उसी तरह का होगा। मतलब जैसे असाइनमेंट्स है ना, ऑब्जेक्टिव और एमसीक्यू टाइप के, उसी के। और यू हैव टू डिपेंड ऑन द वीडियो लेक्चर्स। तो ऐसी एक्स्ट्रा रीडिंग नहीं करनी, एसेज नहीं लिखने, कोई लंबे लंबे क्वेश्चन आंसर्स नहीं होंगे, बट इट विल बी अ लेंदी क्वेश्चन पेपर। इट विल बी अ लेंदी क्वेश्चन पेपर बिकॉज इट्स फॉर 100 मार्क्स। ठीक है। क्या कोर्स हिंदी में ट्रांसलेट हो सकता है? आई थिंक सो। या वी विल वर्क टुवर्ड्स इट। थैंक्स फॉर द सजेशन। तो हम इस पे काम करेंगे जरूर, क्योंकि अब आपने कहा है तो। Acha, what is Neha asking? What kind of cinema we are watching in today's Hindi cinema? Can we categorize? It is a very exciting period. See, but it. A couple of years ago, we had this cinema Ayushman की films बन रही थी, राजकुमार राव की भी, and but and they brought small town of Hindi India into the focus, right? छोटे शहरों के लोग, बरेली की बर्फी और स्त्री और बहुत सी फिल्में, और वेरी द लोकल कलर, जैसे विकी डोनर है तो उसमें लोकल कलर आ गया था कि ये दिल्ली का लड़का है, बट ही इज नॉट वेरी पॉश, बट ही विल बी टॉकिंग लाइक एन एवरेज दिल्ली बॉय टाइप का ना। लैंग्वेज, कपड़े, लाइफस्टाइल, so वो सब। So it was more realistic. At the same time, we have these biopics, which is very new and very interesting, because इससे पहले, before this, biopics is a very well established genre abroad, especially in Hollywood. They make films about their politicians, about sport heroes, about film stars. But here, biopics have come into existence in the last 10 years in a big way. First we had sport heroes biopics like Mary Kom and Milkha, Bhag, तो वो एक biopics हो गई थी. But then now we have biopics of all kinds, and it's a very good tradition. Although some of the movies may not be, they change a lot of, even factually they may not be too accurate, but at least it's a start. Because see, for a very long time biopics as a subgenre just wasn't there. There weren't takers, people didn't touch this subject. But look, today we have a movie on Azharuddin and Dhoni. So I think it's a very good trend. And then third category could be these very big high budget films, especially the historical kind of films. So they are also doing, but then they also have, I'm sure they cost a great deal of money. So they have to make a lot of compromises, at least where facts are concerned. So make it more, audience friendly. You have to say certain things. But otherwise, yeah, so I think those are the main categories. And another healthy and very welcome trend is that of women coming at the forefront. So we have quite a number of realistic films and films which are, written by women and directed by women. And this was not, I mean, you see, earlier you could just count women filmmakers on your fingertips. By which I mean, दो चार औरतें होती थी, जो महिलाएं होती थी, जो फिल्म मेकिंग करती थी, जो डायरेक्शन करती थी. But now you see the number of women who are coming out, and they're writing, and writing very bold on very bold topics and themes, which is a very, very welcome trend. Okay, so yeah. So I think those are the new trends that I can immediately think of. I'm sure there are more. ठीक है. What kind of movies do I like? Prema Leela. I'm not talking about trash movies. Movies which are, but for some reasons you do not like. What kind of movies I do not like? Okay, what kinds of movies I don't like movies that explain a lot and where people talk and talk a lot, and too much of sort of stereotypical characters are there. So I won't be able to name, but I sometimes feel that our cinema explains a lot. I mean, इतना क्यों समझाते हैं? But leave something to the imagination of the audience. Therefore, I like this movie. Uh, uh, it has, I think, Rajkumar Rao. I like Rajkumar Rao a lot. By the way, I like Ayushman also. Both of them are very, they have contributed towards bringing a lot of positive change in our cinema. Okay. I don't dislike any actor as such. It's not like ये actor अच्छा नहीं लगता इसकी तो film. I won't go and watch his film. I watch everybody's films with an open mind. That's what I feel, that we should be able to, and we should, yeah. But then there are some films which are very off-putting, but not because of any particular, yeah, but the ideology or something that I don't have any problem with. You can have any ideology as long as you are making a good movie. But films that where they're explaining a lot and they're talking a lot and they're trying to not leave anything to imagination. So I think those are the kinds of movies that I feel very bored and impatient with. That's what I can say. Uh, so Vikas is asking, there is a course in film studies, literature, and when will it come? Yeah, there is a course in Introduction to Film Studies. I think it's coming next semester. And you have already asked for film appreciation to be translated into Hindi. I'll definitely look into it. We'll talk to NPTEL team. Sharju is saying, can we consider war drama as ideal? Yes, absolutely. There in war films, there is a very clear-cut ideology, no doubt about it. Therefore, it is war. So you go to Hollywood or even Vietnam War. The best example I can think of at the moment is that of Apocalypse Now. It is a Francis Ford Coppola movie, the same director who made The Godfather. And it is a clearly anti-war movie, and you see the way Coppola has made the movie, the mise-en-scène, the acting. It is very, very, shot like in a in psychedelic ways. It's like you are absolutely high on this drug called war, but where does it all lead towards? So it's a very good indictment of war. And yeah, so war movies have, you're either against or you're not. They cannot be like taking a middle path. So yes, political films and political and war dramas have an ideology. Shashidhar, I wish you wrote more about cinema and such things. um, you wrote more about, but I do write about cinema, right? I have already written two books. One is film directors and one is film stars. So I have written that. um, yeah. And who do you think are very good critics and cinema writers in India? You have to, I mean, I think Anupama Chopra is very, very prolific, and she has the means and resources to bring together a number of exceptionally talented people, and she comes up every second day, she comes up with a new interview and all. So I think she's doing a wonderful, she is a movie buff. She has written quite well. She has written she writes prolifically, and she also yeah, so she puts up a good team. Yeah. So that way she's doing great work. Harsh Bansal, competitive exams. Yes, there is I have a course on competitive exams. It is called English Language for Competitive Exams. So it's there. Jitin is asking about yeah, in the mood for love, semiotics of wall clock. What is the significance? Time in the mood for love. The Chinese movie by Wong Kar-wai. So idea is that lovers separated by time and space, and how time is the ephemeral, the fleeting nature of time. So the clocks in all, and they have lots of watch clocks and watches and close-ups of watches and clocks all over the movie. So that time is of essence. Time is passing them by, and how they would wish to hold on to these few stolen moments that they get. So I think the ephemeral nature of time and nostalgia about the lost time they could have had together, but they couldn't. So things like that. So time is at the center. Wong Kar-wai is one of the best. If you have to ask me, that some of the best foreign filmmakers, not just from India or Hollywood. Hollywood, of course, is so widespread and so popular that yeah. So Wong Kar-wai is one film director, um, who never disappoints. Chunking Express, In the Mood for Love, Fallen Angels, and lot to be read in his cinema. Wonderful maker. Uh, Rajendra, talk briefly about Akira Kurosawa. There is this lecture on Japanese cinema. Yeah, Akira Kurosawa again. He was very prolific. He was He was, I think, one of the influences on our new wave kind of cinema. Our parallel cinema of the late 60s, and great, a visual composer. You have to watch his film for the way he constructs his scenes. So definitely. I have already responded to this war and politically, ideologically influence. Yes. Then I have another. Neha is asking, what can we call today's Hindi cinema? What can we call it? It is a mix of several things, as I just now pointed out. We have middle of the road kind of cinema, festival kind of cinema. We have historicals, big budget historicals. We have biopics. So a lot of films are, and then with the emergence of OTT, we have experimental kind of cinema also here. Cinema verite. Cinema verite is true to life. Okay, in Italy we have this Italian neorealism where even actors were not great stars, but they were like picked from the streets. That okay, you look the kind of, you have the kind of face that would fit in very well in this film. Why don't you come and act? So, and they would jettison big sets and all the big equipments. They relied on natural lights and sunlight, and they would shot on locations and with handheld camera. So being as true to life and being as natural as possible. So therefore, verite, that means truthful. Ma'am, what's your thoughts on adaptation of novel into big screen? Yeah, recently I watched Meera Nayar's A Suitable Boy adaptation. Lot of things have been left out, which is understandable. But then, yeah, it also gives you an understanding of what is the novel all about. And yeah, so adaptation is a different field by itself. And many a time they say that film was not as good as the movie, because you see, books are all, film was not as good as the book, sorry. That's because book is all about words and language, and film is all about visuals. So there are two different mediums, and you can't expect them to be completely, alike. But today I was thinking, without literature, without cinema, so many works, great works of literature would have been, just forgotten. At least, literature, cinema brings great works of literature again, it revives and it increases their shelf life. Otherwise, people don't read, right? But thanks to cinema, the interest in those great books, which are wonderful by themselves, but then you also need the right kind of attention to those books, and cinema is successful. No, I haven't seen, sorry, I haven't seen this movie. I will. Expressionist cinema in India. Yes, Neha, I can give you example. Uh, Ashok Kumar's Mahal, directed by Kamal Amrohi. The hero's state of mind, okay, is very well captured through the cinematography. See, he starts losing his mind. He thinks that he is actually. I won't give you the spoiler, so let me not get into that. If you haven't watched Mahal, I would suggest that you watch it. Okay. And remember that Bombay Talkies Cinema, the studio for which Ashok Kumar used to work with, they had a number of German cinematographers and directors. We are talking about those times. So they were influenced by expressionistic kind of cinematography. So Mahal is one good example. Okay, and this is my last question. Ramti, which are the recommended platforms for watching international films? I think Netflix has lot a number, but very limited. So Netflix may be good, but it doesn't have great variety. Suppose you're a movie buff and you have watched a lot of movies on Netflix, then after a while you won't find anything else. So I think then you will have to look towards Mubi, MUBI. I haven't subscribed yet, but whatever I often come across their advertisements and it looks quite impressive. So if you want to watch non-Hollywood movies and non-Hollywood and non-Bollywood, I think movie should be the place, the go-to OTT. All right, then. I think we have covered enough, and we will be meeting soon. And all the best for all your ventures. Keep writing and submitting the assignments. Keep watching the lectures. Thank you so much for your time, and it was great talking to you today. So, bye bye.